Do you know what happened to you when you're unsuccessful? Please don't cry when I say you become useless like a vagabond lunatic. Your dependency ratio becomes high, living a parasitic life with no future.
Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
Why don't boys also go for early marriage? If it is culture, then boys should also go in for early marriage instead of only girls. So I think they should allow us to be free.
My father got married at the age of 15. What will you say about that?
Well, he's a male. He can do early marriage and still go to school. But as a female, if you get married early, you possibly you can get pregnant, and without pregnancy, you cannot go and sit in class.
Yeah, you cannot sit, but after conceiving, you can actually go back to school. Maybe your grand or your parents can take care of that baby, and then you go to school, and then when you come back, you can breastfeed your child. It's possible.
It is, but what of the mental health of the girl? You know, everything you're doing, you need to be both physically, spiritual, and mentally ready for it.
Yeah.
So if the mental health is not there, I'm not my physical health, the mental health, if it's not there, because you cannot be inclined, be thinking about your child, because it's the love and bond between a child and the mother. You cannot be in class and focus, your child is at home, what is happening? At night, you have to read, your child is crying. You know, by that time, grandmother cannot even take care of the child.
So now, will you choose education over your child, or will you choose your child over education?
Of course,
in this case,
I will choose my child over education.
Fire VM, sir.
I was only but a little girl when the world fell on my feet. Sorrow and pain was all I felt. Molestation and sexual harassment became my mate. And now I am oppressed. I am suppressed. I am depressed. My heart is breaking. My soul is wrecking. The dreams I had are vanishing. But there is this voice that keeps telling me that for after every hardship comes ease, and that education is the key to success. And this voice keeps me going, for the pains and laziness cannot obstruct it. I know hard work is the part I need to take. Determination takes leadership in everything I know. As the plane was built to fly freely in the skies, so everyone was created to live out the dreams they have inside them. Isaja ya muta ya mara ya siti fasemeng mota busila no ibun.
Like and share.
VM International.
hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of your show called VM Cultural Show. First of all, you're watching us live on VM International TV, and today we want to explore, we want to show you the beauty of the smiling coast of the Gambia. And we believe that in the Gambia we have different tribes, and this year we are planning to at least bring all the culture or all the cultural events or activities live on VM International TV. I hope most of you will learn and will be inspired. On that note, I will not gonna waste time. I have the most beautiful young lady here. She is beautiful, young, and a teenager for that matter. And I would love her to introduce herself before we go deep inside the show. First of all, welcome to VM International TV.
Thank you very much, Mr. VM. Thank you for the introduction. I go by the name Anna Wainjai. And before I go further, I would like to thank everybody, my parents, my family, and everybody who gave me the courage and motivated me until today. I am here in your show.
Okay.
So I would like to thank everybody.
And you look so beautiful with this cultural outfit. Can you tell us who is behind the beauty of your culture?
Thank you very much. Well, behind this beauty is a Bambaran lady.
Louder.
Behind this beauty is a Bambaran lady. Today I am proudly dressed in my Bambaran cultural attire, and this that I'm wearing is called Seruba. Yes, and in Mandinka it is called Darafano,
Okay.
and in Wolof it's Seruraba.
But why do you choose to dress like this?
I choose to dress like this because it's my culture, and I am proud to dress like this anyway.
It seems like you love your culture.
Yes, I love my Bambara culture very, very much.
Can you speak your language?
Yes, I
Okay,
can.
Fire VM,
The
sir.
quantity doesn't matter, it's the quality. And Bambaras are mostly from Mali to the Gambia. Our cultural dish is called to and nanogomana. The to is a fufu-like, but it is made out of kus, and the nanogomana, it is made out of the powder of okra. The musical instrument of the Bambara is djembe. It looks like a drum, but it is rectangular on both sides. Oh yes, it is rectangular on both sides.
Wow, that's beautiful. Let's put our hands together if you are watching it live. And please don't forget to always comment below the video. Yes, this is beautiful. You said your grandma. It seems like you love communicating or chatting or sharing ideas with your grandma.
Yes, I do love sharing ideas.
Through that, you know a lot of ideas from your grandma.
Yeah, exactly.
Apart from what you have mentioned here, what are some of the activities that your grandma will always tell you?
Most of the activities that my grandmother will tell me is hunting. That in those days, the Bambara people used to go out for hunting.
Okay.
That is the donzo and the donzo muso. And their outfits are normally...
You said donzo muso. What is donzo muso?
Donzo muso means a female hunter.
Oh.
And donzo care is a male hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's donso muso and donso care.
Okay.
And their outfit is the skin of animals.
Animal. What kind of animal?
It can be a deer, a lion. It can be any animal that can be hunted in the bush.
Imagine you are in the bush or you are in the forest with the skin of a lion. How will you feel? And then for the first time you come across the lion and you are wearing the skin of that lion. How will you feel? How will you see that animal called lion compared to yourself as a human?
Well, if you see the skin on yourself as a hunter, because the skin you wear is the animal you kill.
Oh.
So that means that you have killed a lion. So if you see a lion, you wouldn't feel afraid.
You will not feel afraid?
You wouldn't. Because
so in this real life, will you not feel afraid if you see a lion in the forest?
Well, I would be terrified.
Oh.
Exactly.
Exactly. But why?
Because we're in the modern generation, it is very rare to see a wild animal compared to those days.
But imagine if your grandma should take you to the forest and say, look, even though we are in the 21st century, but I choose you to stay in the forest. Will you?
Well, I wouldn't.
And why?
It's very sad to say I wouldn't.
Then you are trying to tell us that you don't love your culture, because if our parents or if our granny are from the forest and they are happy to stay there, then you should be glad enough to be there. What do you think?
Yeah, I should be glad to be there, but that was those days. No, the world wasn't modernized.
Okay.
People were living in tents and other houses, bush houses. But now everybody is modernized. There's electricity, there's water, there's internet. So everybody is enlightened. What we should do is not forget our culture, no matter how the world people are going and no matter how technology is changing. We should still be us and never forget where we are coming from, so that we'll know where we're going to.
And why do you choose to dress like this today?
Well, I choose to dress like this because it's my culture, and I am proud to be a young Bambaran girl, which is well cultured as well.
I can see.
Yeah, so I am proud. And in anywhere where they say wear culture, I don't wear anybody's culture but my culture.
Okay.
But people will be like, "Wow, is this Bambara? This is very rare." I'll be like, "Yes, Bambara do exist in the Gambia, and I am proud to dress as one."
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, what is going to be your message to the people that are watching you, and they have abandoned their culture, they have abandoned, the way of Africa? What is going to be your message? Because this is international and it's going viral and the people is going to watch it. So we, the Africans, should go back to our... Just take an example from me, myself. I should have dressed in my culture today, but I failed myself. Oh my God. I hope God will not punish me. No, God, don't do that. But okay, what message do you have for the people?
Okay, the message I have to them is it's not too late. It's still not too late.
Okay.
You can still learn your culture. Go to your parents. If your parents are still not alive, your grandparents, if they're not alive, there is online. If you type any culture, they'll bring you the history, everything. Try and know about it. And if you're out there and you cannot speak your language, it's still not too late. You have people all over the places that can speak your language. Go to them. Let them teach you on how your culture behaves, on how you speak. So that if you have children, you can pass it down to them and down to them, so that everybody can know that, yes, this is your culture and you're proud of it. Because nothing is too late until you're dead.
Wow.
So you still have chance to know your culture.
Okay, and now we come back to this stage again. What are some of the icebreak called in Mandinka, taling? Do you know some of these stories that your grandma or your relative will ever tell you? So if yes, will you mind to share with us?
Well,
in Bambaran language, for that matter. Yeah.
Well, a story, I can't remember of any. Yeah, but I believe there are a lot of stories to tell.
Okay.
Especially when you come to the kingdom of Segu. Yeah, that story, I really love it because it's
Do you know his story? Can
yeah.
you share some with us so that beautiful audience like myself will learn?
But
It's beautiful, Anyway, these are young people. We need to support them. We also need to educate our young ones concerning about the culture. We all have a culture, and even the whites, the Europeans, the Americans, the Asians, they have their culture. If they are practicing their culture, what is wrong with us? What is wrong practicing our culture? It is only some part of Africa. I will not say the whole Africa, but some part of Africa. You will see some people say, no, I don't want to be like African. But no matter what you do, you will always remain to be African. And then we come back again. Can you tell us what are your dreams in life?
well, my dream in life is to become an accountant.
And why do you choose that?
Well, I want to become an accountant because my namesake is also an accountant, and mostly it is my dream because I want to have my own job and help myself financially.
Okay.
Because there are two things why people educate. One is to overcome ignorance and poverty.
Yeah.
Because if you overcome ignorance, everybody will listen to you. Nobody will ignore you if you're saying something.
Yeah.
And to overcome ignorance, you have to be knowledgeable.
Yeah.
You have to have that stuff up there. And if you have the stuff up there, you have in your job. Of course, poverty will be eradicated from your family
Definitely.
because you have money to feed yourself, your family. And people say, yeah, I'm a woman. One day I'll get married. My husband will be doing that. But what is wrong in giving a helping hand to your husband?
Definitely.
There's nothing wrong
And this
in that.
generation, it is said 50-50.
Yeah.
Men love women that will support them, and women will love men that will support them.
will support
So if you have a husband that is willing, that is looking forward for your help, then that's make the work and the family easier. Because we've seen some women, they are packed or they are told to go back to their mother's roof. Why? Because they were not trained, they were not educated, or they are not even aware about the house choice and other stuff. So if you choose to get married and your husband decided to tell you, no, I don't want you to work and I don't want you to become an accountant, what will be your greatest message to him?
Well, my greatest message to him would be why he doesn't want me to do job. And I won't try to force him to allow me go to job. I'll try to convince him
Okay.
that if you allow me to do my job, I'll be able to help you in this and this part of the house, of the house bills and other stuffs. Even if he's the richest man in the world, but I can still help in try to inspire my children on what I did when I was a child and what I did until I grew up.
Yeah.
So I would able to inspire my children and also my husband. So I would try and inspire him to allow me to do the job.
Yeah.
And I won't try to force him. But if he still decides that I will not do it, then who am I? He's my husband. Then I have to say yes to whatever he says.
Okay.
But I will try to
Do you
convince him.
still believe in this culture, this phenomenon, saying a woman who is in the compound and in her husband's bedroom? These are the phenomena that we, the African women, have or have in mind, especially during our great-grandfathers. Women are known to stay at home and do homeworks, cook for their husband, take care of their children. Now that you said you love your culture, will you still choose to stay in your husband's room and then, do all the work that is needed? And for your husband, do you think that you're gonna do that for your husband?
Well, yes, I will. But nowadays women are being empowered all over the world.
Okay.
There is women campaign, women empowerment, and many people have been empowered to come out of their own shadows and show their talent, come up, because we're all saying that women, our place is not only in the kitchen and at home. We also have the right to come out, show people that yes, we also have voice, that we are voiceless. And every man in this Gambia, I can say, is educated.
Not every,
but most.
every,
But most are educated, and most know that women empowerment exists. So I believe that my husband is gonna be somebody that is educated.
And what those empowerments means to you in connection with your culture?
Okay, Empowerment connected to my culture is like just like inspiring people, enlightening them on the good side of what the discussion is about. That is about empowerment. Exactly. So I believe that my future husband is gonna be an educated person.
Are you ready to get married? Because normally we look at young teenagers getting married or forced to get married. If your father should force you, or your grandma, or your mommy, or your relatives, or even your uncle, most of the time the uncles will say, "Hey, I see the food wall de." If better say food wall
VM so mbali fe kanolela. VM so mbali fe udalolela. VM so alnana njanimbi sala wala kanofa ngole duntanna nyienju so tumbu. VM so mbali fe kanolela. Muna VM mbe fe udalolela. Apachaki ala follow de wobite on ndingo nying. VM so wato tijede alal bulu kondingo dikijal ka follow wo wuleri ndingo nying.
My beautiful audience, welcome back once again. We're talking about the role of a child and, of course, the relationship with a female child with her parents. We are all aware that most of the parents, African parents, will rather force their female child to get married to an old man, especially 35, 65 years old man. We're saying that. That is as a result because they have realized that it's part of their culture, one. Two, it could be perhaps the religion aspect of it. And then three, it could be just because they want their child to get married, simply because they don't want their child to get pregnant or have boyfriend or just misbehave outside. Now that the young lady here, a teenager for that matter, I call her a lady because she got the brain of a lady, and every lady is beautiful, and every child with maturity is indeed a lady too. From my end, now my question was like, imagine your father forced you or your uncle forced you into marriage, or maybe it's part of their culture, and you said you love your culture, but now that you love your culture, your father said, look, this is our culture. If you are 13, 14, 15 years old, you should get married by and force, whether you like it. How did you see that culture?
Well, that culture.
A little bit louder.
Well, that culture, I will see it as, yeah, it's their culture. But
no, our culture. Don't say
yeah,
it's their culture.
It's our culture.
Yeah.
Okay, it's our culture. But in some things, we know that there's always an advantage and there's a disadvantage. And in that disadvantage, if it's something that is leading to death, then we have to try our level best and eradicate it and try and avoid it as much as possible.
Are you telling me that early marriage is killing a lot of people in our surrounding?
Well, I cannot say it's killing a lot of people, but it has killed a lot of young girls.
Okay.
Because if you go in for early marriage, of course you might have a child, and in that duration, you can die because we know that labor.
Anyone can die. Young girl, anyone can die in labor.
Exactly.
Even an old man. An old woman, a young lady, a child. Anyone can die during labor. But what is the essence of you bringing this topic here? When our grandparents were getting married those days, they go through the labor and they don't even go to the hospital and they survive. You understand? Yeah. So, do you have any other proof that will let that culture go, or do you think we should still go back to that early marriage? Because we've seen young ladies at the age of 15 getting pregnant from their boyfriends. Yeah. You understand? And as a result, they have that baby. We rarely had them dying. You understand? So, how are you going to defend that?
Okay, I would love for them to eradicate early marriage because as young girls, they need to go to school. They need to educate. They need to have a good, proper education, primary, secondary, tertiary, and get their PhDs, have their own jobs. So we should eradicate early marriage because young girls also have the right to go to school, to also learn, to explore, to know things around the world. We shouldn't only allow the boys or the males to only be given the privilege to educate. Why don't boys also go for early marriage? If it is culture, then boys should also go in for early marriage instead of only girls. So I think they should allow us to be free.
My father got married at the age of 15. What will you say about that?
Well, he's a male. He can do early marriage and still go to school. But as a female, if you get married early, you possibly you can get pregnant, and with that pregnancy, you cannot go and sit in class.
Yeah, you cannot sit, but after conceiving, you can actually go back to school. Maybe your grand or your parents can take care of that baby, and then you go to school, and then when you come back, you can breastfeed your child. It's possible.
It is, but what of the mental health of the girl? You know, everything you're doing, you need to be both physically, spiritual, and mentally ready for it.
Yeah.
So if the mental health is not there, I'm not mean physical health, the mental health, if it's not there, because you cannot be inclined be thinking about your child, because it's the love and bond between a child and the mother. You cannot be in class and focus, your child is at home, what is happening. At night, you have to read, your child is crying. You know, by that time, grandmother cannot even take care of the
So
child.
now, will you choose education over your child, or will you choose your child over education?
Of course,
in this case,
I will choose my child over education.
why?
Because it's my child. It's because it's a life that I conceived for 9 months. So I will not go for education and leave my child. So you see, so in order to avoid all that, let us, our parents, just try and give us this chance to educate. Because marriage is marriage. Because you can marry from 18 upwards. So if you finish our education, it's still time for marriage. There's time for there's time for everything in life.
Yeah.
So there's time for marriage, there's time for education. When it's time for marriage, of course we will get married.
And what age do you want to get married? And what age do you think, not only you personally, but what age do you think is good for young people to get married?
Well, the age that young girls should get married, for me, I would take 23, 24, going.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, for ladies, we can reach at menopause around 40, 50.
Yeah.
So if you get married around 23 to 24, 26, perhaps, you can have a lot of children. You can have children. Then before you reach menopause, you will have children to take care of, children to call you mommy. They also have people to call you granny. So yeah, I think 23, 25 going.
Now that you are here with the beautiful culture, what is your message to our grandparents, to our parents that are still into this early marriage, that are still forcing their child to get married? And you are so beautiful with this cultural outfit, but still you didn't agree with some part of what they are doing. So what is going to be your message to them?
My message to my grandmothers, my mothers, and all my fathers at home is, let us teach our children the culture. Let them know about it. Let us not hide it inside us. Let us teach them our culture. And sometimes it's also our parents and our grannies' fault for children of nowadays not knowing their culture. Because you see a wall of child, the person will not hear the language or any other culture. So my message to them,
blaming them.
No, I'm not. I'm blaming them partially. Partially, I am blaming them partially, not fully, but partially, and partially also go to the children.
Okay.
So my message to them is, let them teach their children the culture, and the culture that you know that it is very disadvantageous to the child. Let us not try to push them into it. Let's try to understand them, and whenever they talk to us with those advantages and things that will inspire them, let us allow them to do it. Let us not try that thing to be destroying their lives that was destroying people's life before us.
Yeah.
So my message is that to them.
Okay. Now, before you go, we will have an ice break from you. It's going to be a song of your culture. This is what I have missed, and I love Tilibonkas, people from Mali. Even me, I'm from my grandparents. If you observe it, they are from Mali. Though one of my grandparents also come from Guinea Conakry. I speak Guinea Conakry Mandingo, rather than Malian's language. And then now Mbafuye Yedongila Ilakana prove
Muruiba Turamantiba Tambai Banna Aikelege Turamantibang So Salejo Turamantibang. Good day to you all. I would like to start with a quote that my grandmother usually says, which is Dugumialo ko jeleying wa dugubayirwa, in meaning a place where there is laughter, that place will surely prosper. Oh no, are you still thinking about what I am? My culture is, but wait, my culture is milk like a cinnamon. It is the fragrance in which the lemon grape steeps. A name of a culture that can make a flower bloom. I am a well-cultured and a proud Bambaran girl. Oh yes, I am a Bambara. In the Gambia, the Bambara is just a minority. But as the saying goes,
Fire VM so mbali feka no
Turamantiba Tambai Banna Aikelege Turamantiba So Salezo Turamantiba. So that's a famous song. Many people know it.
Finally, we have come to the climax of the show. This is where we will be ending the show, but then it's going to be much more powerful than from the beginning. We are letting you know that you're watching this live on VM International TV. Of course, I'm your host by the name VM Trawale. A lot of you will like to say what is VM all about. It simply means the voice of media, and the media is the medium where we use to communicate, to share our ideas and feelings together. If you're watching this in diaspora, in Gambia and all over the Africa, please know that Africa is beautiful. Let us maintain the beauty of Africa. Let us go back to the culture of Africa. Let us remember that we have something. And of course, if we use it wisely, we will be able to come together as a body, because it's another way of transforming an individual, to become a better person. Before we conclude the show, now, do you have any message that you would love to communicate in Bambarang?
Of course, I have a message.
Okay.
What
does that mean?
That is, our everyday doing makes us Bambaras.
Yes. As you continue, you say it in English as well.
Meaning that our Bambara culture, it is very strong. Which means that our Bambara culture makes us human beings.
Okay, that's beautiful. There are a lot of cultures in the Gambia. There are a lot of culture in Africa. There's a lot of culture in other part of the world. Now that you are Bambaran and you don't choose to become, if you are told to choose any other tradition, which tradition are you going to choose apart from Bambaran?
Wow. It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Well, I would choose Fula.
Why do you choose Fula?
Because all my best friends are Fulas, and I love their culture.
How can you choose Fula because of your best friends?
No, I just love their culture with their hairstyles, with their Fula cattle and their milk. It's also very nice.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, will you love to marry a Fula man?
Well, if that's what Allah has made for my spouse, then yes.
Then I wish you good luck. And now, what is going to be your greatest message to the world now? We're not talking about the people currently in the Gambia or in Africa, but we're talking about the people in diaspora, the people in America, the people in Asia, blacks that are in Europe at the moment, but they have never been to Africa. What is going to be your greatest message to them before we say goodbye?
Okay, my greatest message to them is that in this world, you will hear a lot of no's and yes on your way going. But what matters is what you want. And if what you want is right, then go for it. If what you want is going out there, showcasing your talent, don't hide inside. Don't let people discourage you with their no's and their yes. Just go for it. Do it. Explore. Find things to do in the world. And surely you will do it. For what Allah cannot do in this world does not exist. And surely it will never exist.
And now that you have said that, what is your greatest talent?
My greatest talent is poetry.
And why do you choose poetry?
Because I'm a good public speaker.
Do you have any extra poem that you would love to put across?
Yes, I do have.
What is the title of that poem?
The title of the poem is Success.
Okay, you're welcome. I want to become successful, but I don't know how. And I know millions out there want to be successful in their various business and of course in their way of life. So give us that poem and then we try to wrap up.
Okay, it starts like this. I was only but a little girl when the world fell on my feet. Sorrow and pain was all I felt. Molestation and sexual harassment became my mate. And now I am oppressed. I am suppressed. I am depressed. My heart is breaking. My soul is wrecking. The dreams I had are vanishing. But there is this voice that keeps telling me that for after every hardship comes ease, and that education is the key to success. And this voice keeps me going, for the pains and laziness cannot obstruct it. I know hard work is the part I need to take. Determination takes leadership in everything I know. As the plane was built to fly freely in the skies, so everyone was created to live out the dreams they have inside them. Isaja ya muta ya mara ya siti fasemeng mota busila no ibulu. Do you know what happened to you when you're unsuccessful? Please don't cry when I say you become useless like a vagabond lunatic. Your dependency ratio becomes high, living a parasitic life with no future. None of us.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's put our hands together. Let's put our hands together. It seems like you love your culture, you love education.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And young people, young adults out there, this is a high time. How old are you?
I am just 17.
17. She's a teenager. So a teenager like her is inspiring the world. And we hoping to see more of this live on VM International TV. We would love to use this medium to thank each and everyone that is watching us. And we also want to show appreciation to Zalon's restaurant here. It's one of the biggest place so far. The best place to be is called Zalon, and we will love most of the Gambians to come and enjoy the pool. And of course, not the pool, but then if you want to celebrate your birthday, you want to have fun, you also want to be happy throughout your day. Maybe you are sad, maybe you want to do your assignments in the mornings, you can come here. Guess what? If you also want to do workshop, you are highly welcome. It's the best place to be. If you want to come here and you don't know the location, please call me on my number. The numbers are pinned over there, and you are watching it. I would like you to call one of the numbers and tell me where is this location. I want to book that place and then do a business with them. We are glad to be here, but then remember, education is the key, education is the love, and education is what brings the awareness. So if you want to be aware, remember, some of them will say, I don't have the chance to go to school, but education doesn't stop only in the four corners of the classroom. You can have your awareness through mingling with people, talking to your family, talking to your friends, talking to your loved ones. You can be inspired through internet as well. You can be educated through internet. Just go and Google, like she said, try to know your culture. So finally, before we go, how do you feel about this interview?
I feel very happy about the interview because it's giving me the platform to be in social media and show people that my talent and to tell them about our culture and everything about it.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy for this interview.
And how do you come across VM International TV?
Well, I came across VM International TV through my pageantry competition where I was the crown winner, and I met this amazing man who invited me to have an interview, and I gladly came.
All right. Finally, I would love to use this medium to say thank you so much for being part of us, and I would love to thank Kama Kamara. He is the cameraman. He is the man behind everything. And just what we have our humble sister here who also came to accompany our beautiful queen here. And of course, not forgetting Maliki Kuyate, not forgetting Jisul. Junior Jisul is also in the building. Called Abu Wakar. We are saying hello to you. And of course, we want to thank each and everyone who contributed to make sure that we are here. And we want to say thank you so much to you all. To our audience, we say we love you. Keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, try and subscribe. And if you want to sponsor this show, you are highly welcome. If you also want to sponsor this amazing young lady, you are highly welcome, because in Europe we learn to help. In Africa, we should learn to help. Not only like come and eat in the afternoon hours. No, it shouldn't stop there. Let us help these young people financially so they can carry on or move on with their career. On that note, I'm so grateful to be the host, and I would love to say goodbye till we come on your way next time. And I am Musa Traore. You watching us live on VM International TV. Au revoir.
VM so mbali fe kanolela, VM so mbali fe udalolela, VM so alnana njani mbisala wala kanofa ngole duntana nyienju so tumbu, VM so mbali fe kanolela, muna VM mbe fe udalolela. Apachaki ala follow de wobite on ndingo nyeng. VM so wato tijede alal bulu kondi ngodi kijal ka follow wo wuleri ndingo nyeng. Al wodi kidal ka follow de VM so nyancho bije, DJs bije, VM bije. Dimbal.